Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Wednesday, October 4th, 2023. Really only have a couple birthdays, couple events to talk about real quick. We're going to go back to 1987 at North Wilkesboro. On this date, Terry Labonte won the race. It's kind of one of these ironic wins because this would be his first win for Junior Johnson, as we recently talked about. In this race in 1986, DW won his last race for Junior Johnson. So it's kind of funny that they both happen at the same race weekend. Obviously, different dates, but the same race weekend in successive years. 2001, of course, that was a tragic year in many, many ways. This on this date, it involved another Earnhardt at Charlotte in the ARCA race. Kerry Earnhardt would win the ARCA race, but was tragically involved in a crash that ultimately claimed the life of Blaze Alexander. And that was kind of the final straw, I think, for NASCAR when they really started tightening down, and ARCA and all the other racing series saying, hey, you got to have a head restraint, be it a Hans or a Hutchins at the time. Then they eventually ruled out the Hutchins device in favor of the Hans device. But that ARCA race, that fateful ARCA race, was on this date, and it was, 2000, 2001 was kind of a grim period in NASCAR and ARCA and all those NASCAR series. Of course, ARCA was a companion series, but not yet acquired by NASCAR at that time. Then in 2021, on this date, Bubba Wallace wins his first Cup race at Talladega in a rain-shortened race. Of course, there's a lot of flack given to Bubba on that day because, blah, 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 rain-shortened win. And lest the crowd forgets that Ryan Newman, Joey Logano, and David Rubin also got their first career wins in rain-shortened events as well. But Bubba, of course, went on to win at Kansas in 2022. Still looking for his first win in 2023. Has a few more shots to get it. He could get it. He's been running stronger. Seems to be moving up a little bit. Obviously made the playoffs, so he'll have his best career points finish. But we'll just have to see where he ends up overall. So 2 birthdays for today. Born on this day in 1980. I thought I had cards of her, but I do not. Miss Sarah Fisher of IndyCar fame. She did have some strong runs at Indy and some of the other tracks over the years. She also did briefly try to run in the NASCAR West Series in the mid-2000s, but had little success doing so. And our other birthday today is a former ARCA champion, former Xfinity Series Rookie of the Year, and current and defending Xfinity Series champion, and will be this year's Cup Series Rookie of the Year, Mr. Ty Gibbs. So these are not really in any particular order. And of course, I know Ty's not a fan favorite to many, but I think this year he's been keeping his nose clean in the Cup Series. Seems to be keeping quiet, just taking the finishes that he's given, not trying to turn a 15th place car into an 8th place car and causing accidents. I think that's really been a good showing for him this year. I did get to meet him at the ARCA race. I think it was 2019 at Raceway Park. Very, very nice and friendly. Of course, this was before he really started rocketing up the ladder. But he was very friendly with the fans. I'd asked him, because Coy hadn't got to the track yet that day. I think he was still at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway or wherever he was at that day. But I'd asked Ty if Coy was coming to the track. And he says, yeah, he just hasn't got here yet. He says, Grandpa's already here. And they were up in the suite or whatever. And then his PR guy was with him. And I showed him the cards that I had that I wanted Coy to sign if he would have been there. And he's like, well, come back after the race. Coy will be glad to sign him. Unfortunately, that race was a rain-shortened race. And Ty had crashed out. And I never did get a chance to, because I didn't want to stand out in the rain any longer than I needed to. So I went ahead and left the track. And of course, sadly, we lost Coy last year after Ty coincidentally won the Xfinity Series championship. But I've never, I think Ty just kind of drove over his head a little bit there in ARCA and Xfinity. But now that he's in the water with the Sharks now, he kind of has to keep himself in check, and I think the team's been doing a good job at that. Of course, you have to remember this is Kyle Busch's old Cup team, so, got a lot of resources, a lot of experience there, so maybe the next few years you'll see. I think Ty will make the playoffs in 2024. He's got turn it up just a little bit more if he wants to win, because right now he's still that 8th to 12th place driver. He just got to turn it up a little bit, but I think Ty's got it, and I think he'll. I don't know that he'll ever be a cup champion driver, but I think he'll be a consistent playoff driver. So anyway, thanks again for watching. That's been birthdays and events for today. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Make sure you come back tomorrow, where we'll have something to rip, and of course fast packs and more birthdays and events. So as always, thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. It really, really would mean a lot. So thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.